50 years.
Is there something that's unique, and especially as we've come in, we have a new administration, we
Uh-huh.
have things that are
You bet.
being disruptive.
Very much so.
Is there, does that impact what you do and
Oh,
what's out there
absolutely.
for
It always
people?
does, but it really
So,
doesn't.
let's talk through all of that.
Uh-huh.
Um, and I'll ask a little bit about your journey and, what was the catalyst to doing all of this, the why
Anything you
behind
want.
it.
No, I'm.
And depending on how our conversation goes, we may get into things that, as you're looking out into the future, what you're optimistic for individuals and
Oh, I don't
businesses.
mind. You surprise me. That's more fun.
Are you okay? Okay. And I understand, right? You have been in front of a camera a time or two, so this is not uncomfortable for you. So
Yeah.
fabulous. When I hit record, there will be a 5-second countdown, and
Okay.
I'll start. And do you have any questions for me?
No, I have hearts for you though.
I love the hearts. That's made my whole day.
Good.
All right, so let's do this. Today we have a legendary guest who has spent over 50 years helping everyday Americans tap into billions of dollars in government funding, the one and only Matthew Lesko. You may know him as the question mark guy from his iconic TV appearances on Oprah, Larry King Live, Good Morning America, or his wildly popular books. Matthew has built his career on a simple but powerful mission to help people access the financial resources they didn't even know existed. At more than 81 years of experience in life, he is a game changer. He is changing and transforming lives, and he is here with us today to share his experience and more than 50 years of influence. Matthew, welcome to the conversation.
Well, thank you so much. Bye. I never thought I'd get this old. But actually, and what I'm really shocked at is that it's so much fun. I can't believe I'm having more fun now than I ever had in my life. And I'm thinking, God, if I knew 81 would be this much this much fun, I would have got here a lot faster. I don't know what took me so long to get here.
That is absolutely awesome. And especially in a time, and gosh, we're going to go in all sorts of directions,
Yeah.
right? Where we are valuing the perception of youth more and more
Right.
and more. And at some point in time, as a more than middle-aged person myself, it's like, why do we value that so much? The experience comes so much later in life that we know so much more, and it's so much more fun and easier once we've had some experience.
Right. Also paid some bills already.
Oh, paid some bills, and adulting is expensive.
Right. But actually, you get over some of that stuff that you worry about. I mean, earlier in your career, you worry about paying bills or whatever, and you get 80. Well, at least I was fortunate enough that that's not a concern anymore, and it's just liberating to think about. Also, to worry about things that you never worried about before, because you're worrying about all these daily stuff, But now, actually, what I concentrate more on is, you see, the hearts is love, because I've realized, in the last couple of years, being in the '80s, is that I can't, as a guy growing up in America, everybody wants to get stronger and faster and smarter, all the macho stuff that you're ingrained with. And I realized, man, at 80, none of that's going to get better. Absolutely, it's nowhere to go but down. But I realized what I can do better is love.
Yeah.
That I could grow and keep growing.
And it's a fabulous thing that is in many ways lacking and missing in much of what we do. And with the work that I do
Right.
and the audience of this podcast, right? Business owners who are trying to grow and
Right.
scale in, uncertain times, in confusing times.
Right.
Everything sort of begins and ends with people, and love is a very important connection in that, right? And
Yes.
how we treat and show up for one another. But you have spent a career on a mission helping people find one of those other things that is required. And we sometimes don't always have enough of it or know how to find it. So talk to me about finding grant money and the things that you have done for more than 50 years, if I did my math,
Exactly.
right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
helping people get grants.
Well, because I started this 50 years ago or something with an MBA, helping rich people find money to do stuff. I was in Washington, D.C. This is before the internet and everything. And I'd find all these programs in government, and my clients were paying me thousands and thousands of dollars just to do this research. I said, geez, look at this stuff, And I was finding the programs for millionaires to become billionaires, but they're for anybody. And after doing that, it was successful in my mind because I had two other businesses that failed first. So I was very grateful to have a successful business. But then I got into my God, I'm helping millionaires become billionaires. I grew up in a little town called Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, a coal mining town. Just immigrants come from Czechoslovakia and Poland to dig out coal. That's my grandparents were. And nobody knew about this stuff. Nobody, the government was the DMV and the post office, and that was it. And I thought, God, the rest of the world should know about this. And now, say to me, what motivates me even more, it's more needed. And the rich people are using it more because they learn about this stuff. They'd hire people like me to edit for them and stuff like that. So they realize that. But what's going on in our country, we're getting poorer.
Yes.
The country as a whole is growing, but individually, this is a graph since since like when I've been in business for the last 40 or 50 years. The red line is the average wage for 90% of the population over the last 50 years. So the increase was 33% over like 50 years. But the top 10% went crazy, They got 171%. So you have wages going nowhere and the price of living going through the roof.
Yes.
So this in the same period of time went up 300% when wages only went up 30%. So nobody's making it except the top 10%, and so they need that help. And what
Yes.
I didn't realize even when I started this, Mr. Graphs, is that our economy is made up of two things. Oh, I see my computer video has a mind of its own.
That's okay.
Are you okay now? Yeah.
Yep,
Okay.
you're good.
Okay, so this is our graph of the latest data is 23, and it shows the size of our economy. But more
Yeah.
importantly, it shows what it's made up of. This yellow part is capitalism, okay,
Yeah.
which is really Google, and that's 60%. But we have the community side of our economy, which is really the government and nonprofit organizations, and that's 40%. And what these 40% of the economy does is give money to people. So they're all about giving money. I mean, whether it's firemen are coming, put the fire out of your house, they don't come and ask you for the credit card. They just come and do it. So
Right.
that's community. So 40% of everything is community. And I think because we're capitalists so involved, we like to ignore that this is really there, or it doesn't make a capitalist feel good or something, I don't know. But anyway, we have that, and I'm trying to teach people how to use this, particularly if you don't have money. If you have money, okay, this is capitalism, that's Google. But Google is all about capitalism, and people are going to Google to try to solve their problems. And they can't get them solved there unless they have money. You have to solve them with this portion. Government organizations and nonprofit organizations are there to solve those problems for you, but they don't have advertising money. So you won't find them in Google. And that's what it's trying to teach people this and where to go with that. Whether you're a business, an individual, a family, anything. I mean, there's so much there, and the rich people use the heck out of it. And then they blame other people. Like, why does Trump have all these billionaires following him around town? Because they know they could get money a lot easier from the government. $1 billion from the government, they could get easier than trying to think of a business that could, provide something in society and get paid for it. No, it's easier to get a government money to do it. And that's why it's there.
That's why it's there. But again, to your point, most people don't know how to access it.
Right.
And you have been on a mission to help
Yes.
us learn how to access it. So what's the approach?
Well-
What are those first steps we need to know about?
Don't use Google. I mean, that's for you can't unless you have money. It's like like a drunk going into a bar and say, "Yeah, I'm not going to drink." You're not armed to deal with the people in Google. They know how to sell, and they sell
Yeah.
better than I ever will or everything. So the best way is not to go there. And the other thing is people don't realize what you have to do now in this economy is using the phone. There's too much information and too complicated out there that you have to talk to people to figure out exactly where things are and if they're right for you. You can't just go, people want to go online and fill out an application. Well, the hardest part is finding out the right application.
Yeah.
Nobody will know that. And so you have to really talk to people who are in that business to help you fill out, to figure out which is the right application to fill out. I don't know, are you online now? Let me show you a website that may be helpful. Can you go online?
Let's just get the URL because
Okay.
a part of the people on this are only going to be listening.
Oh, okay. I'd like to see your face though. You see, it's called findhelp.org. So if you go to findhelp.org, that's a great place to start, particularly for basic living expenses. For government programs and nonprofit organizations. That's the best source. Now, there's many other sources that do this kind of stuff, but for a starter set, this is good, as long as you keep out of Google. So if you go there and have a problem, whether it's a rent or childcare or a new roof on your house or education or job, anything like that. And it's good for employees. Now, thinking of you working with people that have employees. If they have problems, they can't pay for something. Somebody needs dental care and they can't afford it or whatever. You could go findhelp.org, put in your zip code. Okay, and after you put in your zip code, it'll show you the total amount of nonprofit organizations in your zip code. And like for me, it's 4,000 or 5,000 organizations that all they do is give you free money and help for anything. And like where I live, I'll put in rent. So if you can't pay your rent, to see what's there, and there'll be 70 organizations that all they do is help people pay for rent. And see, to me, the system now is, okay, you have 70 organizations. You're not sure which one of those are really for you. You could read through, but the problem is you won't find exactly the words you're looking for or whatever. And the best thing to do is just start calling A to Z. Because each one of these people are nonprofit, they've already got paid, they will never ask you for money, and their mission in life is to help people pay rent when they can't. Okay, so you have somebody, it's like a plumber who's fixed 50 toilets a day, you know. You want to call him and he could just push a button and fix your toilet. And because they know and they've seen everything before. It's the same thing with getting information nowadays. You go to Google and you'll just be a fire hose and you wouldn't know what to do.
Okay. And so with findhelp.org, we're talking about basic needs and covering all of those. What if we changed the focus to business founders, owners who are starting to grow businesses,
Right,
and want to find help in that space?
okay, the same thing. You go to people who are paid to help you grow your business, okay? A couple of websites you want to do is SBA.gov, but you don't want to talk to the SBA. They don't have money for you. But they have a great database of people that give you free help to find money. So you go SBA.gov / and then local, LOCAL - assistance. You know, I think I just did, yeah.
I got it.
SBA.gov local - assistance. I just used it for something else. And you put in your zip code there and you'll find maybe 10, 15, 20, 30 organizations, all nonprofit, that get grants from the government and other big nonprofit organizations to help you start or expand any kind of business, to help you work on an invention, to help you start a nonprofit, to help you be a freelancer, to help you be a real estate investor or whatever. Okay, they're all there. And again, like anything, they may or may not be successful for you, and that's why you have many. You call another one then. It's the same thing. It's like looking for a doctor. They want to cut off your legs. Well, let me talk to some other people first.
Yeah, there's always more than one opinion.
Exactly. So to
in the
grow,
chorus.
and there's a couple of other things that everybody should know about. Another website is Apex, APEX, Accelerators. ApexAccelerators.us. Now that is a service that the government provides for free to help you figure out how to get government contracts. Now, Elon Musk gets $5 billion worth of government contracts. I mean, anybody could do it. You could be a freelancer. You could be making hot dogs in your kitchen. And, the government buys anything you could think of. My sister did $1 million in just framing plaques for the government, out of her garage in the middle of Virginia. And what's nice about a government contract, you get more. A government grant, you don't usually. They're usually more one-time thing. But a contract, you could build a business at. Every Fortune 500 company gets government contracts. I mean, this is what this country's about, is getting government money. And you have the local, state, and federal. And these organizations, the Apex Accelerator folks, help you with all that. And there's paperwork to go through, yes. But you don't want to go to Google because some people will charge you thousands and thousands of dollars for something you could get done for free. And that's the important thing.
And that is the important thing. And so for the audience, right, let's just go take a moment, right? We've talked about our basic needs. We've talked about using the SBA.gov to get us to local assistance to help find some grants. But ApexAccelerators.us is where you're going to get into the opportunity for government contracts.
Exactly.
And one of the things that Matthew didn't say, but he's implied, is once you have one, it can grow from there.
Absolutely.
And that is actually the power of what I think we're talking about for our businesses today, is how to have that continuity of funding. And using the Elon Musk example, we are watching how it works in action.
And it's so true, because also you have to learn a skill. You want to go get a grant? No, that's an investment of time, okay? And that's why, to me, it's a better investment in time to learn how to get a contract, because you leverage that information that you have to go up that learning curve than the first one. And when you go up on a grant, you get the first one and maybe not on the second or third, or whatever. But the other one is, and then there's another organization, which everyone who wants to grow their business, is called EDA.gov, which stands for Economic Development Administration, EDA.gov. So you could go to EDA.gov, and then there's a map of the United States. You want to find the directory of all the economic development offices. So economic development in our society is the government helping businesses grow to create jobs. It's all about jobs, okay? So you want the government help grow your business to create jobs for other people. People have jobs, they're happy, and they'll vote for the people. That's why you vote for the. Now there, you'll have 20, 30, 40 nonprofit organizations that are economic development offices at the state, local, county, nonprofit organizations. Some area puts it, well, let's create more jobs here. They, decide this economic development, they raise funding or something to attract people and give them money to grow here. And so that's what their job is, to help you grow. See, so now you're finding the people who are getting on somebody else's payroll to help you grow, not trying to hire people yourself.
Well, and that's the power of other people's money.
Right, exactly, yeah.
So I'm curious as we're talking about this, because these are well established, right? This is the power of the government engine to feed that 40% of community. These have been grown and developed over time.
Right.
And we are at a precipice right now where we have Elon Musk saying government is too big,
Yeah.
right? And all these, how do you think that our current administration and the mindset is going to impact these programs that have fed those who are saying that they might be too big?
It won't affect it at all. You will think it will be because these guys are so much great promoters. Like all the things they want to do. Like the first one, last week they had one. Oh, all the grants are gone. 3 days later they had to change it. I mean, these people just write. They're like me writing a headline for YouTube.
But the headline they're writing for is for X.
Exactly right. Exactly.
And I just, as we're joking and we're laughing, I just want to reiterate the reality of it,
Yes.
right? There's a lot of talk, there's a lot of bluster, there's a lot of positioning, but the reality of key things that are part of government that feed to your graph earlier, the
Yes.
40%, they aren't going to go away. They aren't
Absolutely.
going to disappear.
No way. Because every congressman and senator has people who vote for him depending on that shit.
Right? It is,
Yeah.
It
So
is a
that-
foundation and part of our society. We are a capitalist society,
Right.
and that's great. And I believe in free business. I am a
Exactly.
business owner,
Yeah.
right?
Me too.
That's all well and
Yeah.
good, but these other entities exist to feed and grow because the economy needs more,
Right.
and our economy is driven by small business.
Right.
The Fortune 500 are big, they get lots of
Right.
press, but they
Exactly.
don't actually control our economy.
Right. And what's important to me realize is that now these people, Musk or whoever's in charge, sure, they're going to change things, but it takes and they could only change it a few degrees if they're lucky, but those few degrees mean something 20 years from now.
Yes.
And so everything that you want to do in the next year or two is not affected by anything they're doing today. So that's what I'm trying to do is get people to go, okay, you still have that problem. What I worry about, they say, oh yeah, well, the government disappeared. And next seminar, just a USDA or USAID, the website is down. What the hell's going on? So there'll be crazy things. Some people, then all the government is gone. And that's silly. So now, if you have a problem you want to solve, you want to grow your business, you have financial problems or whatever, all the help that was there last month is there today and will be there at least for 2 years. So you have to go on with that mission, whatever you have, and sort of ignore the circus, that's going on. And that's hard to do because we all like to be entertained.
Fabulous points. And Matthew, thank you for taking us through the experience and the knowledge, starting with fundamentally how to take care of basic needs if people are struggling and having problems, and how that builds and grows into individuals who are building and growing businesses, and all of the tools that are out there to support that growth, and many of them coming in the form of whether they're grants, right, with no payback, or government contracts, which if you handle them well, will fuel the growth of your business potentially exponentially, because government contracts, they want more is always better.
Absolutely.
Bigger. And I appreciate that conversation and the perspective that, as a person who has spent a career inside of DC and understands the moods and the time and energy it takes for change to actually happen, to say, hey, what's happening right now is partly a circus, right? There's entertainment to be had, but business will continue. And we are, as a society, our government is designed with 40% of what we have available to the community to serve people in need and businesses that are growing. And that is something that enough business owners don't probably understand. And I am so appreciative of you sharing your perspective with us today.
Thank you so much.
And audience out there, I guess I'm getting one step ahead of myself. Matthew, if they want to learn more about you and how to find out more, I will put all of the links to what you shared.
Wonderful.
But how do they find out more about you and what you're doing?
I have something called leskohelp.com, which is a community. And I never thought this would happen. I started about 2-3 years ago, just sort of to create income so I could pay my rent. And it just grew by itself as a community. And we're 15,000 people now help each other get grants. So it's people helping people. And I'm sort of being redundant. I'm just the trained SEAL out in the front door.
Well, I think you're being celebrated. I think that there's an impact that you've made over your journey with a very specific mission.
Oh,
And
that's
I,
sweet.
again, appreciate you sharing it with this audience and this community. And audience members, you know the rules. Don't get left behind. Join me next time. Thank you so much for that conversation.
Oh, my pleasure. That was very sweet. Thank you.
And the community is, we will share that out. It's absolutely fabulous.
Diet books. we sometimes use diet books and we keep getting fatter.
Oh my God, I don't even want to, yeah. I have 3 of my own that, sit on some shelves in some people's offices. I was like, that's awesome. Thank you for that. But yeah. No.
Yeah, but
Let me look over. So we've recorded in advance. This episode is set to air the last week of March.
fine. Anytime you're ready, I'll still be here.
On Tuesday, it will go out on all of the audio platforms. The video
Okay.
goes out on YouTube. I'll send an email to your team with links
Great.
and social content that they can use to do whatever they want to do with it.
Wonderful.
Or if you are your team, you can do whatever you want with it.
Great. Well, thank you, Lisa. I'll be here if you
Absolutely
need something.
fabulous.
Okay?
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Have a great rest of
Right.
your day.
Keep your heart growing.
Thank you. All right.
Let's see, maybe I can answer some questions on YouTube. We got a little more handle here of people. Let's see, new questions. I'll start at the bottom. Yes, he helps people sustain their finances. Okay, some of you need reform. This guy was on commercials and TV. Swear that's him. Yes, that's me. He seems to like he's hoping she will just stop talking soon. Not sure what that means. No, it is Jacob, that could be correct. I love your jacket. Thank you. This guy has been getting chucked for, I don't know what chucked is. He has a special chair and everything. Don't know what that means. What a colorful jacket. Thank you. It is not rare. You're just surrounding yourself with the wrong people. Check yourself. Thank you for being a great person. Very far and few between nowadays. There's a question I can help you with. No, thank you, buddy. If you really need help, what's your Cash App? Yeah, somebody don't. I'm joking. Thank you through Simple Man. I got you money. I'll grant you it. No, that's silly. I have questions to ask you. I have a disability. How to apply to get a grant to try to help. Try to get help somewhere. Okay. Zima Yar, you have a disability, go to findhelp.org. Findhelp.org. And put in your zip code. And then you put in a keyword, disability, and you'll see hundreds of programs in your area, in your zip code, that help people with disabilities. You start calling them, okay? You start calling them and asking for help. And the way to get help is by talking to people. You call the people that are in business helping people with disabilities. You ask them, can you help me? If they say no, then you ask them, where else can I go? And you can help me to get a grant for major surgery. I need some. Richard, go to this website, needymeds.org. Needymeds.org. Okay, and I think this is, let me look at that website to make sure. Needymeds.org, and then call this number, 800-503-6897. 800-503-6897. They will help you navigate their database that shows you how to get free money and help for any kind of medical problem or prescription drugs or dental or even money to live on while you're recuperating from things. So call them first. That's the place. There are other places too, but that's a good place to start. Having major surgery, got that. He loves the YMCA. Love your dress jacket. He says it's pneumonia. Are you dealing with your HIV? Don't lie. Yeah, if you have a medical problem you're dealing with, you want to call that number 800-503-6879. 800-503-6879 or needymeds.org. You're on Google, right? How do you now? Who owns Google? Yeah, YouTube is owned by Google. The daughter used to babysit his wife. His daughter used to babysit his wife. Don't know what that means. I don't understand that relationship. How could my daughter babysit my wife? Well, how much does it cost to get your tips help? Our service is $20, and it's $20 a month, and you get all the help you can eat. And we have every day we have 4 or 5 hours of live people that answer your questions personally, and we give out our own grants, which are about $50,000 to $70,000 every month to just members. How are you all so obvious to the government takeover? Well, then, no, we're not. I live in Washington, but this is not affecting the programs that are out there that you could get help with right away. Sure, they're trying to change things, but this is a big, a big thing. You just don't push a button and change things. But he got a wife younger than his grandkids. No, I don't. My wife's pretty close to my age. Can you be my daddy? I'm sorry, Mita. I don't think I could procreate anymore. It's in your book about it, too. I'm not sure. Not even real. Let me get crony capitalism like this clown. Give me free stuff. Actually, nobody's answering because nobody picks up the phone anymore. Well, you have to keep calling. You're right. That's true. You have to call somewhere else to do it. If you don't keep trying, you're not going to get nothing. You could quit. Yeah, sure, you have that right. You have helped my family so much. Thank you. Oh, well, thank you, Sin. That's nice to hear. You should help the regular guy like me. I am. All the people. What do you need help with? Lazy trash out there. Someone check his hard drive, please. Well, most of the trash don't deserve any. That's what I like to see. I think he's just dressed to be a kid show host. Yeah, that's what it looks like. He tells people to make phone calls when no one answers the phone. Yeah, that's right. You have to make them more then. But you're not going to get them on the internet, on Google. He still tells people to make phone calls. Okay. He had this thing where you would pay him and he would send you useless information. Well, if you don't use it, yes, it's useless. I mean, I still do that. Correct, he sold a few books, about 4 million, they say. Why don't you comb your hair? I did. Question marks, unsure. This dude used to sell a book, yeah. Where did you decide? Are you going to McDonald's? And no, that guy died. Isn't this guy on popcorn boxes? Oh yeah, what was his name? Orville Poppenecker or something like that, yeah. Not true, some HGH, that's not. How old are you? 81. Do you have any of those old commercials? Yeah, they're I think on YouTube you could find a bunch. This man is walking thrift store. How can you grow love? By opening your heart? Are you a ball movement regular? I like the colors. The thing that Matthew is, DeMark. Please keep the chat positive and uplifting. Boy, that's hard to do here, isn't it? Is that the new deportation headquarters? Well, okay, guys, did what I can here, I guess. My work is done. I thank you for yours. Oh, well, yeah. Hi, Adrian, love this guy. Thank you, man. But I love that he doesn't care what anybody's saying about him. Thank you, Andrea. It's rock. It's sock check time. Oh. Okay, you're about to lose your apartment. I have a car and can't get it fixed. Okay, Dwight, here's where you go. You go to find, F-I-N-D, shelter.org. Okay, you got that? Find, F-I-N-D, shelter, SHELTER.org. So you want to go there, okay? And you'll see us, they have a state-by-state listing of free legal help, and they can stop that eviction, okay? So you want to do that first, is get that eviction stopped. Okay, then you want to go to findhelp.org, and did I say find shelter, or is it get shelter? God damn, I'm getting old, I forget. Oh, just shelter, that's what it is. You want to go to just, J-U-S-T, shelter, okay? Okay, so that's there. You want to go to justshelter.org, and you'll see a state-by-state listing called Community Resources. And you call them up and get help to stop that eviction. Okay, to car repair. Okay, the best place to start is findhelp.org. Put in your zip, and then car. I misspelled car. How do you like that? Okay, fine. Okay, so you want to go to findhelp.org, put in your zip code, and then put in car repair. Hold on, somebody's banging away. Hi. Okay, that's me. I'm gonna go, guys. Take care. See you soon.